What is one insight you've learned about life? Insight you've learned about life. It's a good question. I would say know when to take someone's advice. Because I think more than ever, I think this used to be a thing more for dudes, but I think now, like, both, you know, men, women, and other, of course, are sort of encouraged, always believe in yourself. Always trust your own judgment, trust your gut, trust your instincts, whatever. And this is good, right? This is true. But what I would say is that in some cases, let yourself be lectured to. Even if you're not necessarily going to follow their advice, sometimes you might not be making the right choices in life. And and it's the most crushing thing in the world to hear. Because we can be so fucking sure of ourselves. And in our society, in a society that's so built around our own self-worth and around what we can offer, like, in terms of productivity, having someone say, I don't think what you're doing is good, is so crushing. Because it's so difficult to have anything, anything beyond... It's so difficult to find something to be proud of. And then when you are, to have someone say, no, that's awful. But the truth is, sometimes, not always, sometimes they're right, and you need to think about that. So, let's take me for example, and I'll be completely honest with you. I have a lot of problems with when it comes to, like, letting things get to me, right? And I'm in a position now where I literally can't let that happen. Like, I need to just focus up, do my job, and if people dislike me, if people say nasty things about me, where in the earlier parts of my life, I would have been able to confront those people with little consequence. Now, I don't have that option anymore. And it's worse than it ever was because I'm exposed to more people. I need to be able to do that. And what it took was a lot of my friends telling me and a lot of you guys telling me to just leave it alone. And I didn't want to hear that, but I needed to because I knew that if I didn't take that advice and if I kept following my gut and if I kept lashing out at people, I would never grow. And it might even start to exhaust some people and make them feel worse about the experience of chilling out with me. So I figured essentially what this boils down to is sometimes you're wrong. No matter how right you feel you deserve to be, no matter how right you think you actually are, sometimes you're just fucking wrong and you need to take someone else's advice. And I think the best way to approach this is to assume A, sometimes I will be wrong, but B, being wrong is okay. Sometimes making mistakes and doing things wrong is fine, because I'm going to tell you something. Second chances exist. Second chances absolutely exist, and just because you fuck up once doesn't mean you fucked up forever. Exactly. Well, being wrong is a flaw in a way, but what I would say is that being flawed is not wrong in and of itself. Everyone is flawed. Everyone is flawed, whether it's your nature or whether it's the way you were raised or whether it's your life experiences giving you a strange perspective. Everyone is wrong sometimes. And what I want you all to understand is that being wrong, being proven wrong, being beaten at something, having your ego crushed, it's actually kind of humbling and good for you. What matters is how you take those experiences and move forward in life. Because every lesson isn't necessarily what another person wants to teach you. If someone else says something to you with the idea of, oh, I hope they do this, I hope they do that, you can listen to them, but also the experience of being humbled in that way can give you your own lesson. All you have to do is think really hard about, well, what did I learn from that? How can I improve from that? And you will grow as a person based on that. You will grow into a better person if you genuinely just fucking reflect every once in a while. If you really, really reflect. And nobody is always right. And I'm telling you, the kind of people who go out of their way to tell you that you're doing wrong, they might be good people who we trust and everything, but they've probably made plenty of mistakes in their lives as well. So I would never want you to feel as though that you're a worse person for having made a mistake, or you're a worse person for having bad habits that need to be corrected by someone else. You know. Let yourself be wrong, because your sense of self, shouldn't diminish by having been wrong. You don't need to go through your whole life and be right. If anything, being wrong every once in a while is good for you. And like I said earlier, it's good for you because it will encourage you to self-reflect even more. So that's a good piece of advice, you know? Be yourself. Be yourself. Trust your gut. Follow your instincts. Make decisions if you think they're the right decisions to make. But please, for the love of God, listen to people. Listen to people. And sometimes you might be wrong. Just be prepared for that in life. That's all I'm saying. It's okay to be wrong. And I think it's a shame, because sometimes people are stubborn, and being stubborn can be good, but it can be bad. Stubbornness is a good trait in some ways because sometimes you are right, and sticking to that can be great. However, sometimes you're wrong, but if you're wrong and stubborn, you will never grow. You will literally never grow, because stubbornness in some ways is very... it's sort of very much derived from one's ego. And, I mean, if you're completely unwilling to let go of what you believe in, you'll never grow. The same terrible experiences that might have affected you early on in life, you won't grow past them. If you stay attached to the same ideas that you've stayed attached to, that you developed as a result of, you know, your experiences, even when things improve and you don't need to act that way anymore, if you stay stubborn and you stay stuck to that, then you won't grow. And most importantly, you probably won't be happy for a long time anyway.